Hey guys, how's it going? Sorry I'm a little bit late. Just had to munch some lunch. All right. I'm gonna be sculpting this little guy as per request, kind of. Is this working? Let's see. Sorry, I'm running a little late. All right. Okay, you guys can see it. All right, good. Yeah, it's kind of a squirrel chipmunk thing by Mitch Leeuwe. So, let me see. I'm actually going to chop this down a little bit more. Zoop like this. Okay, and save it. Over to Twitch. There we go. Okay. Then we can go on over to ZBrush. Oh, this is something I was working on earlier. Okay. So let me save that out. Sorry, thanks for your patience. How you guys doing? Let's see. I'm going to, where am I saving this? Oh yeah. It is best course. Bam. Yes. Okay. So let's pull up my projects and this. All right. Hey, what's up, me? How's it going? Okay, my ZBrush 2020 has been kind of hitchy. So yeah, it's got a restream bot. So now whenever anybody posts to any of the other channels, everybody will see it on whatever channel you're on. So how's it going? Okay, so let's see. Twitch and Mitch. Okay. Hey, what's up, Neil? Dude, I'm doing this one for you. I don't take requests, but I'm taking a request from you, sir. You know why? Because you helped me out during my stream so much, so I'm happy to oblige. All right, and this guy is hilarious, and I want to sculpt him up. So let's sculpt him up. Okay, welcome everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome back. I have, let me see. Switch this out. Sorry, I'm I was here at the last minute, so turn this gain down a bit on my camera. Holy cow. Okay. It's no, so it might be just me on my end. The when I would spin my model, it would kind of hitch a little bit. Hold on a second. Okay. So it would just kind of hitch, and I don't know what the heck was going on with it. So and I don't know if it crashed. My computer crashed like 2 times yesterday, like blue screen of death. So I've hardly ever get those blue screens anymore, but yesterday it happened twice. So I'm just like, is this ZBrush? Is it my machine? Is it my full hard drive? I don't know. So I've been trying to troubleshoot all morning to see what in the heck is happening. And also you can see I have 2 cameras going. I have an over the shoulder from right there, and I have this one here. So yeah, I don't know if it's eating up my CPU. I'm going to try and get a second machine to stream with, and then hopefully that will ease up the CPU from the main machine, so I won't have as many crashes, hopefully. Yeah, a little fancy. Thank you, Neil. Okay, so let me just, I want to quickly share this on Facebook. Last thing I want to do. Okay, so there we go. Share. Share public. And then share on my page. So I have a 3D Character Workshop page if you guys want to follow that. It's just 3D Character Workshop on Facebook. Okay. Thanks, Inspire. Yeah, I can also take it large, which is kind of cool. I can go like this over the shoulder so you can actually see my hands, and I can point at things, and yeah, it's kind of fun. Over the shoulder. Okay. So thanks, Hamaku. I'll have to check those out. Okay, let's get to it. Let's build a squirrel. What's up, Kev? Okay, so looking at this guy, I kind of want to build him differently than I usually do. I want to actually start with a cone, like a literal cone. Just start with a cone and then just start adding from there. I think it'll be kind of a fun challenge, because if you look at the underneath, this was kind of a design idea that Mitch had. He was showing how to design from a sphere and a square, and I should say a sphere and a cube and a cone. So this guy is the cone, and so I want to actually start with a cone. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to, let's see, I'm just going to insert multi-mesh. I have a cylinder here that's kind of a special cylinder. And if you want this brush, this insert multi-mesh brush, you can go get it from 3D Character Workshop for free. Osama, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, I'm just going to draw the cylinder out on the surface. And what's special about this cylinder is, yeah, Mortar, 2-cam guy. I'm the 2-cam guy. Okay. They're out of sync? How do you know? Okay. Yep. They are. That's funny. I'll have to tweak with that, right? I will not be going to CTN this year. I only have so many conferences I can go to. So thanks, Usama. Okay, thank you. So anyway, I can only go to so many conferences per year, and I've already gone to a couple, so I'm gonna skip that one this year. Okay, I'm just gonna delete the old one. Now, what is interesting about this cylinder is that it is a quad cylinder, which means the top is made of quads rather than a pole, and there aren't any spans going down the length of the cylinder. And what that means is I can easily turn it into a cone. Whoop, like this. Easy. Maybe even more. Whoop. Okay. So let's kind of make it the same shape as he is. And the reason why it's good not to have poles is because when I subdivide it, it's not going to pack all the geometry down into those poles and cause ZBrush to crash. And then it's also automatically creased. So you can see it has a crease. So when I do turn on dynamic topology, it holds its edge pretty nice. But this guy does not have a hard creased edge around his bottom or his cap. So we're actually going to get rid of those cylinders, or those creases. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I'm facing front. I keep forgetting I have this head here that's telling me the direction of the object here. So let's see. Go back over to Twitch for a second. I want to share this in my group just for funsies. Okay. Sure. There we go. Okay. So now what I want to do, if I get rid of the creases right now, what's going to happen is it's going to do this and look strange and awful. So I'm enjoying 2020 so far. No complaints. Okay, now what I can do is grab the Z modeler brush and I'm going to insert some edges, but I'm going to hit multiple edges because I want a few of them, but not too many. Let's try that. Okay, so now I hit dynamic subdivisions. It is going to give him more of a softer cone head shape. I can smooth this. Got to turn off spotlight projection. Smooth it down a little bit. Hey Sasa, how's it going? Thanks for joining me today. Appreciate it. And I'm going to be doing the triple stream tomorrow with Anna and Pablo. So they're going to be the three of us streaming for 3 hours tomorrow, and we pass our sculpts around, which is pretty cool. Okay, so now that we have this cone, I'm just going to start now just using my basic primitive blockout method and just start to block this guy out. It's always with that spotlight projection. Okay, so I'm liking this shape. It's a nice cone, pretty nice cone shape. Let's add some, let's do the legs first. I'm gonna make him in his neutral pose to begin with, and then we'll pose him and then get him into this running pose. Running scared. Okay, let's turn on local symmetry and make his legs. I want his legs to flow right off the end of this triangle here, this cone. Yep, I can see that too, Motor. Oh, Inspire 3D. I need to talk to Polygon and get that going. It's just, yeah, it's I moved to a new home, so I had to get my studio ready. And that third one was supposed to happen right in the middle of the move, so I had to postpone it a little bit, but now I'm ready, I believe. Oops. Okay. Hey, what's up, Roberto? How's it going? Okay, let's see. Let's put a little foot in there. Hey, what's up, Daniel? What's the best website to find entry-level modeling jobs? I don't think there really is one per se. You can turn on available for freelancing on ArtStation. I've gotten jobs that way. And then there's just job boards like on, I'm trying to remember if there might be one on CG Talk, and I'm trying to remember where they all are. But entry level, I'm not sure specifically. Hey, what's Indigo Flash? How's it going? All right. This guy is Mr. Wide Crotch. That's what we're going to call him, Mr. Wide Crotch. It's like those little kids' books. Mr. Happy and Mr. Sunshine. This guy's Mr. Wide Crotch. Yes, this concept is done by my good friend Mitch. This was actually for one of Mitch's lessons on designing characters with primitive objects, and this one happens to be a cone. So we're gonna make him a cone. Okay. He's got some small wrists, so we're gonna shrink those down a lot. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Thanks, no plastic. I'm still living out of boxes. I'm gonna be for a while. Lots to do, but we like it. Mortar, totally. Christmas tree, legs and arms. I like his little elbow here. And these little scallops underneath his arm. Those are pretty fun. Yeah, it's like, what's he running from, right? The cat or something? A lawnmower. It can be anything. What's he running from? A bird? I don't know. His mouth's going to be a lot of fun to do. Okay, I'm actually going to pose his hands up like they are. Let's see. I'm actually going to grab maybe this one. Let's reset that gizmo. And you're welcome, Neil. This is to thank you for hanging out with me and posting all the links. So, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Like I said, some people ask me for requests all the time, like, hey, can you model my character? And I don't have time. I just don't. I want to model something that I'm passionate about when I'm doing it just for me. So I typically will not take requests. But of course, it's Mitch, so love Mitch's stuff. And I saw you requested it, so there we go. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Control Z, not just Z. Okay, let's get some fingers on there. Actually, I want to squish this down a little bit. Have you guys been enjoying ZBrush 2020 so far? What is the most used feature so far that you guys have been using? Let's do thumb. The triple screen isn't in the schedule pages. I'm gonna have to talk to Kyle about that. Hey, welcome. How's it going? So when I rotate, it's not doing it now, but sometimes when I rotate, it will be slow and it will hitch. So I'm trying to figure that out. Thanks. Yeah, I'm playing with the new camera, but and I don't know if it's the camera that's been making my machine crash. I hope it doesn't crash. Okay, I'm gonna bend this thumb down while we have it here. Okay, and then the fingers. Do the middle finger first, of course. I like to spin it around so the fatter parts on the outside. Really like the extractor. If you get used to the workflow, it's great for kit bashing. Repeated patterns on the fly. It's like a faster custom brush. Cool. What Cintiq do I have? This is a 27-inch Cintiq. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's not working. Huh. So see how it says hold down Alt to scale on X and Y? For some reason, it's not wanting to do it. Cintiq Pro? I guess it's called a Cintiq Pro. I'm not really sure. The resolution is close to 4K. Yeah. It's like 34,000 by I don't know what. And what I think of the 32-inch, I think it's too big. I tested it at, or I messed around with it a little bit at GDC. I think it was 2 years ago, and I sat down in front of it, and it just started cooking my eyeballs. and it's like sitting on the front seat at a movie theater. You know, it's it's too big. Yep, the middle finger. So it's like when you're sitting at it, you're like looking left and right and up and down. You'd kind of have to put it a ways away from you to not feel like it's just all screen in your face. Yeah, so far so my machine is it's an AMD 1700, and it has 64 megs of RAM. So ZBrush mostly cares about the CPU. It doesn't care about the RAM or the GPU as much. $64. Yep. Okay, this is way off. Let's bend this finger down a little bit. I want to make it a little smaller. Maybe a lot smaller. Whoop. Okay. Now I need to auto group these. They're all in the same groups. Yep, all CPU and hard drive for sure. Okay, so I'm gonna do auto groups and then mask this guy off again. Duplicate. Ooh. Like that. Yeah, I can see that. Homicus. Yep, I can see that. But for me personally, it felt a little overkill, a little on the large side. Okay, that thumb. Looks like he's got a gigantic thumb now that I have the fingers in place. Or maybe I need to make the fingers larger. Oh. Okay, so I actually like the size of that thumb though. Why didn't it make... Where'd the other finger go? On the opposite side. That's weird. See, look. He's got one finger, but this one's gone. Oh, probably because I did auto grouping and then I forgot to mirror and weld it. So let's do a mirror, then a mirror and weld. Fixed. Okay. The 22 is nice, actually. I like it. Yeah, no complaints about that. There's plenty. I used to have a 24 HD, and I like that one a lot just because of its buttons. And I know that that new 22 has some buttons on screen, and I like those a lot. Shape this a little bit better, and then I want to make these fingers longer. So I'm going to grab this move elastic, turn on topological, just drag these out longer to match the thumb. Maybe pull this in slightly. There we go. That's looking better. Yeah, 16 mortar. So like the 12, the 16, the real estate just starts to shrink and shrink and shrink. So I have a Microsoft Surface, and it's just too little of space to really do anything production wise. You start to feel claustrophobic. I have not played with a dull canvas. Have you? Is it good? do want to inflate that just a little bit. Got a little too carried away there. Okay, that's better. Hey, Mr. Sanson, how's it going? XP pen. I've not used anything except for a Wacom. It's not that I don't, you know. Hey, Mitch is here. How's it going, Mitch? Thank you for providing the concept, and thank you for letting me sculpt him. He's fantastic. So this is how far we've gotten in 28 minutes. All right, this is going to be interesting with the legs. I might not connect the legs, and I might just pose him like this, and then yeah, I might cheat a little bit on those legs. Oh, you like it? Cool. Julmar, I'm doing great, thanks. Okay, so that being said, I'm gonna make some cut lines in these feet. And let's use this clip curve to make the feet flat on the bottom, like this. Actually, before I do that, I want to inflate the toes a bit. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that new 22. Are you guys sure that it doesn't have buttons? Let me look. Maybe it's an older model. I'm not sure. Maybe it's not the HD one or something. Okay. So that's really small image. This one, barely see some buttons on there. That's a tiny image, sorry. Anyway, I don't know which one. 22 HD. Yeah, I had the 24 HD, which it did kind of come with its old stand, or an old stand, I'm not sure. But okay. So none of the new ones have buttons on them. I miss those buttons. I do. Because if I put my remote on here, it just kind of slides down, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's the magnet's not strong enough in the Cintiq. I'm not sure, but it just slides. And Wacom even gave me a new one for free, and it still slides. I don't know, so I figure it must be in Cintiq itself. Okay, so now that we have this, I'm going to take this cone and subdivide it. So let's split it. I can't subdivide it unless I split it off. That looks like a traffic cone with arms and legs, a pink traffic cone. Okay, subdivide once and get rid of the lower subdivision level. Okay, let's see what it looks like if I do that. That's probably good. Hey, Oscar, how's it going? Oscar. Okay. Now let's get some, this is going to be interesting. I might just take this cone into Sculptris Pro mode and just go crazy with it. Because there's some interesting shapes happening on the sides of the head that I just kind of want to pull out, and I think Sculptris Pro would help it. Yeah, it's like totally guiding traffic, right? It's like, stop, don't go. And Angry, I still need to answer your email. Sorry about that. I'll get to it. Okay, let's turn. Well, I'm going to save it. Always save. Mitch Cone Squirrel 01. There we go. All right. Well, I'm a little more busy currently than I usually am because of this whole move and living in boxes and all that kind of stuff. And so, yep, running from a driver. Hey, what's up, Zofo? How's it going? Okay, so let's turn on Sculpt Pro and just start evening this out. But I want to go to Sculpt Pro and turn off adaptive size and then turn this down to let's try 0.2 to start with and see what it does. Okay. Basically fill in the whole thing with triangles. Just make sure you don't have dynamic subdivisions on when you have Sculpt Pro on, because they don't get along well together and it'll slow down your performance. Okay, so now we're in Sculpt Pro mode. We can just have at it. Just kind of filling the rest of this with smoothing. Okay, so first of all, let's kind of start making the mouth. Let's see. It's gonna be kind of tricky. So I'm going to use this masking and then pull it in. Kind of down, I guess. And then I can invert that mask and do the opposite and just start pulling stuff out, like his bottom lip. And you can see if you come in here with shift and smooth it down, you can fix the stretchy polygons, stretchy polys. Okay. All right. Made something similar to this guy. Cool. Okay, and then let's pull out these cheekies. So it almost looks like he has double going on. So what I'm going to do is the main one and then draw the smaller one on top of it. or Patrick Starr from SpongeBob SquarePants, right? Could be Patrick. Since he's zoomed in like this, but he has real hands too, like that. Okay. Grimace. I think Grimace's head is more round. Yeah, that's the mouth. It's going to look like crap for a long time, so please bear with me. Okay. That's what happens. Hey Ahmed, how's it going? Yeah, CyberChris. Okay, I can isolate. Whoops, I don't want to clip it. I want to isolate it. Isolate. No, it's just my insert multi-mesh brush, this one, and I just used this appendage brush to put the fingers in. So not a specific cartoon brush. And I give these brushes away if you want to go grab them. They're just over on my 3D Character Workshop page. Get them from there. Okay, so basically why I wanted to do this is turn on double, and then I can work on the inside of the mouth without working. I can work on it from both sides. So that's something that's a benefit that you don't get with real clay sculpting. That is nice to do. Like a lot of fun in. Okay, Sculptris Pro. Sculptris Pro doesn't work in when part of your mesh is hidden. So I'm just going to kind of pull this throat out and down. Make that little back of the throat thing. And then I'm going to pull his tongue out from here. I could block it in. I might. Let's turn Sculptris Pro back on so I can just smooth this down. Now I can go a step smaller. That's what I like about turning off adaptive is I've been working at 0.2 subdivision scale, and now I can go down to like 0.15, and it'll just make the triangles a tad smaller and hold a little bit more detail. So if I turn on the wireframe and I use my soften brush, my smooth brush, you can see the triangles are getting just a tad smaller. Not too much. Here you can make it noticeable if I go like that. See how it's just barely smaller, and so you can. It's kind of like focusing a camera. You can just get tighter and tighter and tighter. Why do I use what brush? The snake hook brush, because snake hook works with Sculptris Pro and Move does not. So basically, if I pull out new geometry. See, it adds new geometry as I pull it out, but the Move brush just kind of pulls it out and stretches it. And yes, I will give it color. Okay, so back to it. I think I want to go even just slightly smaller than this. Let's do 0.12 maybe. Yeah, that works. Okay. Okay, I'll pull these bottom lip kind of up and out and around this. No, because I go back and forth for sure. Get nervous with Sculptris and crashing. Yeah, it just depends on what you're trying to do. But sometimes when I'm experimenting, especially on a new character like this, I will, I like Sculptris Pro quite a bit, so I've been using it more and more because I don't run out of geometry. Yeah, Day of the Tentacle for sure. All right, I'm going to insert some eyeballs just to get some placement here. Or those, have you ever seen Purple and Brown? From Aardman Animation. So Purple and Brown, they're these guys right here. Oh, come on. Yeah, see these? Basically Purple and Brown. If you've never seen Purple and Brown, they're hilarious. Okay, let's split these off. Like Saturday morning cartoons or something. They're hilarious. Okay, now I can do stuff like put some eyebrows on there. It's tricky. I don't want to make him look mad. I want to make him look scared. Yep. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Yep, 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 yep. Okay, now let's get his kind of snout built up in here. Okay, and then eventually it's gonna have that cut between the colors all the way around his belly, and that's gonna help a lot. Crank the smoothness, get rid of that lump right there. Why you say I'm turning into Bob Ross? My transformation is almost complete. Because of my camera setup, you mean? Why not Dynamesh? Because Dynamesh doesn't dynamically give you more mesh. You have to remesh it every time, and it will get rid of some of your details when you remesh. So I avoid it. Okay, so let's take a look and see how close we are. I want to pull the bottom of his mouth really wide and back. So let's do that. Yeah, for sure. You know what? I love to model characters that make me laugh, like Mitch's frog that I did a couple weeks ago. Same concept artist. Yeah, he just makes funny characters, and it makes me laugh. So I love to make characters like that. Okay, this has been getting weird. Let me smooth that down. His inner throat's looking strange. I think I need to pull it in even further. And once I get color on there and I get the tongue in there, it'll look way better. Okay. And I also want to kind of crease the edges of the separation of the mouth. Put a hard edge right there. Okay, let's see. Let's get a nose on him. Nose, the nose. Oh, thanks, Kev. Yeah, you know what? It's funny because I've tried music in the past, and it just gets distracting bad. for me and and viewers. So I just decided, you know what? If you want to listen to music, just listen to whatever you want to listen to while you watch me stream. Oh yeah, I remember Explorers is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's just, yeah, it's really good. And it ends up being the kid. Sorry, spoilers. All right, I'm going to let's add a little bit of color on this guy just for fun, because I just want to darken his nose. Okay, and then let's go maybe here for the eyes. And let's see, that kind of brown maybe. Maybe a little lighter. That works. Explorers. Yep, thanks, Neil. All right. Let's get his eyebrows in there. Probably made them too long. Maybe like that. That works. Okay, split them off. Whoops, didn't want to do that. Let's see. Where are you, eyebrows? There you are. There we go. Let's uncrease these. You started a Yoda today? Cool. Sing a song. You wouldn't want to hear me sing. Yeah, everybody's making Yoda after the Mandalorian came out, right? Or the species that is Yoda. I have a Yoda. Where is he? Everybody calls him my moldy Yoda. If you guys want to see my moldy. Oh, come on. My keyboard tray's having trouble. So if I go big webcam, hi. Check it out. Moldy Yoda. There's my prints. And my Jessica Rabbit and stuff. It's kind of blown out up there. But all right. Yep, I did. I moved him. I moved him to sit up on top a little bit. I'm still moving. So just so you guys know, my wall behind me is sitting in the middle of my room. It's like shelves in the middle of my room pushed right up to my back. It's not against my wall. So it's kind of a faux wall. Okay, let's see. Let's give him a tail. That's a black tail, I guess. Yep, movie magic. I don't know how long my wife's going to let me keep it that way. Let's split this off too. Give it some shape. Did you change your blocking technique a bit in that model, or in older videos you were blocking everything? It's honestly, it changes, right? I use this stream to experiment with my methods. I teach a tried and true method in my course, but I'm always experimenting, trying new things, and particularly like Sculptors Pro, you know, Dynameshing. I'll just try all sorts of different things. It's not like this is the one way you should do everything. You know, that's not how it works. My old art director, Jeff Bunker, used to say art is messy, and it is. It's just messy. So, you know, it's just part of the deal. I need to make this look better. Yeah, I'll be posing him. Okay, so let's get a tongue there. Like a scene backdrop, totally. How's that for a tongue? Ship it. Thanks, Mortar. I'm doing it right now. Thanks for having my back. Yeah, it's, you know, it's true. It's true. You need, art is messy. It's like you're not installing a sink, right? There's not one way to do it. And even installing a sink, there's not one way to do it. But what I mean is there's not like one single procedure that you need to follow to the T to get it to look good. There's so many different ways to do things. I mean, if you ever watch Michael Pavlovich stream, he's like, I'm going to show you 5 different ways to do this one thing, and you get to choose whichever one you want to do, you know, whichever one you feel like. In my course, I've simplified that a lot because I don't want to overwhelm people. So I said, okay, here is my favorite way of doing things, and you get to pick which, you know, you can change it after you've learned it, right? You can break the rules after you understand the rules. Hey, what's up, Phil? How's it going? Okay, so on this, I'm going to straighten it out like this. Then I'm going to turn on bend curve. Let's go down a different axis. Smoothness. All right. I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you for asking. This doesn't look good brown, just saying. Need to change the color as soon as possible. Okay, let's accept that. That's good. Let's make it a different color. It's probably too... I wasn't going to say it, but go ahead and say it. All right. Symmetry, thank you. Symmetry. No, for kids. Kid friendly. Okay. So now we're gonna pose this guy because now we have everything in place, I think. And I'm not gonna merge the arms and the legs to the middle piece yet until after I get him posed, because I know that it's gonna cause me some grief. It's gonna be stretchy McStretcherson. So going to avoid that little problem for a moment. Still want to pull his mouth and round it out. And then paint interior of his mouth. Not the cleanest, but it'll do. Okay, let's grab this color and just fix this little overpaint here. There we go. Then the new thumbnail view, like this little silhouette thing up here that you're talking about. Yeah, I guess for sure, right? Okay, let's see. For the pupils, I think what I want to do is insert another sphere. Whoop. It's like those cartoons where their pupils come off of their eyeballs. Yep, you'll see it in the silhouette when I go to pose him. For sure. Okay. I want to put a gradient on this tongue too. It's funny because he's really cross-eyed. Oops, clear. Because it's like the same color all the way and it looks kind of weird. So let's fix that a little bit. And basically grab this color, grab the airbrush, make it darker, make the brush bigger, and gradient. There we go. Better. Too much. And guess what we forgot? Forgot his teeth. What am I doing? I didn't make his teeth. What's going on? Slacking. Come on. Teeth. He's toothless. There we go. Done. Yep, this is 2020. Hey, what's up, Harry? How's it going, man? Perfect teeth. Ship it. Whoa. Stop it. Chasing it around. Got a gap in his teeth. Oh, you do? So here's the thing with that is there isn't really anything in 2020 that I need to add to the UI to make it any different. As far as I know, I'm still looking into seeing if I need to add anything. But as far as I know, I don't. there's nothing new that I need to bring to the UI surface, if that makes sense. Close this gap. The 2019 UI will work. That's what I'm running right now. It'll work just fine with it. Yeah. Firmly grasp it. That's I can picture Patrick saying, I don't know why, when they're like jellyfish hunting in one of the episodes. And he's teaching SpongeBob how to jellyfish hunt, teaching him how to hold the net. And SpongeBob is like in a cast and he can't hold it. So he's like, firmly grasp it. No ears on this guy. I mean, yeah, he doesn't really have ears. This is just kind of fur, and then I'm going to cut in this fur after I get him posed. Too long. He's a little long in the tooth. Get that shorter. There we go. You can't hear us talking about him because he doesn't have any ears. Where is Quick Sketch located now? I couldn't find it to save my life, and the Pixellogic wiki doesn't mention what menu it's located. I don't know. Honestly, I don't use Quick Sketch. That's a feature I hardly ever use. I mean, I played with it a little when it first came out, but I'm not a big user of that. And I don't work for Pixellogic. I'm just a volunteer. I work on my own. So that would be a question for like Joseph Drest or Paul Gabery when they stream, or Solomon. They all work for Pixellogic. Let's get that up underneath there. But it's a good question. I wonder that myself. Okay, I'm gonna hide these teeth for a moment. Just kind of cut this lip in, just so I have a place for those teeth to live. It's under plugin? Oh, thanks. Yay, somebody here knew. Okay, I'm just kind of refining this edge here. And I need to paint. It just depends on when to sculpt it. It's usually my workflow is I'll take it as far as I can in the T-pose, and then I'll pose it after that. So the reason I'm not cutting in the detail, the lighter brown or whatever right now, is because I know it's going to change. So I'll be changing that later on for sure. Ahmed, yeah, sure. You can poly paint and sculpt together. All you have to do is turn RGB on any of the brushes, and then you can paint while you sculpt. So, for example, if I grabbed a lighter color like this, I have my fill brush. Here, I'll make it more apparent. I'll turn on the clay buildup brush, turn RGB on, and then when I sculpt, and it will poly paint with it. So let's go back to the fill and see what it does. See that the fill is harder, it's more subtle, so it's harder to see. But anyway, you can turn RGB on any brush. The only one it won't work with is like Move. Move's kind of a special brush. Okay, so we're about an hour in, and I think I'm gonna pose him And then we'll just keep going with the details after we pose him. So let's save it. Save off this version. Okay. All right. So first, I want to grab these arms. I'm going to split the arms away from the legs. And then just rotate them forward. I'm going to keep it in symmetry for as long as I can for a moment. Love it. He's awesome. Turn his hands a little bit. They're pretty good. Why is the material that you applied is not blending and smoothing like RGB color? Because materials are something completely different. Materials do not work like RGB color. RGB color is poly paint, where a material is like an extra layer of effects on top of it. So it doesn't really blend the same. It doesn't really work the same. Okay. Yeah, this is why I wanted to keep the arms separate, because I knew something like this was going to happen. Hey, Dana. Miss me in what channel? In this channel? I'm going back to sculpting every week, so you should see me more often. I was sculpting every other Monday while I got my house ready, but now I'm in my house now, so hopefully we'll be good to go. I can sculpt more often again. Okay. Now he's just like, stop! Don't come near me. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to stitch these together and then remesh them. So for like this, for example, I think I'm going to Dynamesh these and then Z-remesh them. We'll see what happens here. Again, I want to save it before I do it. Save this one as 03. Hey, Lewis, how's it going? Let's see. So I'm going to apply this dynamic subdivision. Mesh this at maybe 256. Yeah, that's not what I want. 512. A little better. Okay. Z-remesh them. There we go. Where'd the teeth go? They're probably just hidden. Where did they go? Let's go back here and then there they are. Where did the teeth go? Come on. Grab those arms. There we go. Go with the color. All right. With the restream bot in place, maybe they can remove chat overlay. The thing that the reason I keep it is because when people watch this back on YouTube, they will not have chat. So I like to keep it in there so they can see what people are saying. So I have a question. I plan to make a realistic hippo model that I would love to rig and animate apart from the initial blocking that I did in ZBrush. You tell me how I should shape his mouth so that you can open and the skin reacts to it like a real hippo. Yeah, that's way more than I can answer in chat, or you'd have to, the best thing to do is to kind of look at reference and see how I would build the gums and the skin in two parts. So yeah, I would probably just build it like a real hippo's mouth, you know what I mean? So it would work that way. And so when you rig it, just rig it like a real hippo's mouth works and make it fold that way. That would be the way I would try to do it. So I'm just gonna be putting, yeah, that'll be quite the challenge though, for sure. Be fun. He's like, stop! Don't come any closer. Yeah, best of luck with that. That'll be quite the challenge. Okay, let's do the same thing with the legs. I want to combine these together, maybe make those cuts for the toes. Okay, let's see. Dynamesh them together. Just do it at 512 right out of the gate. Whoops, I forgot to apply dynamic. Okay. We're just going to smooth this stuff out, this transition. Is that microphone picking up my scratching on my Cintiq? Okay, with these toes, I'm just going to try and cut in some lines here. Just subtle. I don't want them to be like too crazy. You can hear them. Mustacho, how's it going? Much tato? Is that? Hello and welcome. Thanks for hanging out with me on this wonderful Monday afternoon, for me anyway. I'm trying to decide if I want it to go, yeah, through like that. Kind of difficult to make that work and actually wrap around, because it depends on the camera angle. What? Okay, let's move this. Clean up that little bit of pinching there. I don't know what the ZBrush is going to do to this, but we'll try it. Oh, got you. Okay. I think I smoothed this too much. Okay. Let's try ZBrush this bad boy. A reason why you keep your Dynamesh in a certain ratio? Just because I'm old school ratio guy. Like, yeah, 256, 512. That's usually the sizes that you. It honestly doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Yeah, this is 2020. This is 2020. I'm Barbara Walters, and this is 2020. Okay, that's good. Okay. She does live in the future. All right, let's pose these. Now, this is going to be tricky, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Here we go. All right. We're ready. Actually, I want to ZBrush this body first because it's still Sculpt Pro mode. Let's split this off. Okay, and then ZBrush it. Yes, I use the ZBrush pose tool a ton. I always use it, essentially. Okay. So now he's ZBrushed. Good to go. And he's ready to pose. So let's go save as again. And then I'm going to start posing him up. Well, I worked for Disney for 10 years, and I worked on Disney Infinity, and I used the ZBrush pose tool to pose all of the characters that I worked on for the toys for that game. So I kind of got used to it over the years. It was a struggle at first, but I'm quite used to it now. Okay, so let's pose this guy. Go to the T-pose master. Here we go. Now the first thing I want to do, I want to try anyway, is I want to get this line of action happening in him. So I want to try this bend curve. Let's see. Yeah, it goes away. Yeah, I'll have to paint that back in. And you do lose color when you, unless I can't remember if you can turn on a, yeah, it just loses the color. Okay, so let's see. I need to change the axis to this and the smoothness resolution to this. It's hard to find a job or 3D generalist character like home office. Yes, because it's very, very saturated now. Okay. So there's a lot of generalists out there. So I'm just trying to get, I mean, but they're still out there. It's not like they're not there any longer. But is that pretty good, Joanna? How's it going, man? I was waiting for the answer to my Tinkerbell question. Did I miss it? Ask it again. Oh, have you worked on the Tinkerbell series? No, but I modeled Tinkerbell for Disney Infinity. She's right here. I don't know if you can see here. Hold on a second. Yeah. Yeah. Do you ever do the UVs while in symmetry pose? Or I if I'm gonna be making a game character, I never do the UVs in pose. I always do them in the I always do them in the neutral pose. Whoops, okay. So I'm gonna pose, I forgot to bend them this way. So hold on, accept, bend curve this way. Okay. Whoops, I need to go this way. Yep, there we go. Okay. Yeah, that Tinkerbell series, they did a really good job with that. I was actually trying to get them to do a playset for Disney Infinity for that Tinkerbell series, but never happened. Okay, so this is going to be the tricky part. Auto group. No, just these. Okay. Sorry, I'm kind of having to concentrate a bit here. All right. Did they ever make a Cheshire Cat? Not a toy, but it is in the game. Yasser, sorry I came late. I used Dynamesh this time in ZRemesher it. Is this a new way because you don't use Dynamesh before in other models? Yes, I used to use Dynamesh all the time. And I changed my workflow slightly to use ZRemesher more, but I teach the using Dynamesh in my course, and that's kind of how that's how I used to make my characters, is with Dynamesh, and I'll occasionally use it. Like I said, it just depends on the model and what I need at the time. There's no one way to do anything, really. It's just whatever you feel like is going to get you there. That's how you do it. Oh yeah, it was movie quality for sure. Okay, I really want this foot clear up here. And then I'll bend it backwards. And I have my, I get some of my posing experience from, I was an animator for 5 years of my career. So a lot of my posing experience comes from that. Trying to decide if I want his arms to be out or in. Like in closer or probably farther apart. It looks more panicked. When in the course, can you sub the Dynamesh parts for remesh by union if you're used to doing it that way now? So yeah, with ZRemesh, how it kind of works is you can ZRemesh anything. So you saw me just ZRemesh a Sculptris Pro part, and you saw me ZRemesh a Dynamesh part. So everything that you do is kind of a means to the end, right? It's like trying to get you to the end to get a finished character. It's not like I'm going to Dynamesh every piece every time or use Sculptris Pro on every piece every time. Sometimes I don't even use either. Sometimes like in these eyebrows, I'll just model them with the Z modeler brush and just that'll be it, right? Or like with the eyeballs and the nose and things like that, I don't ZRemesh or I don't Dynamesh or Sculptris Pro those parts at all. It just depends on what I need at the time. All right, Kev, thanks for hanging out, man. So it's I know people they just want the answer to be this is how you do it, this one way, but it's never that. It's just like, just do what you need at the time. Okay. And I want to kind of twist, so he sort of looks like he's twisting. I think that's pretty good. I want to look at him from all sides, make him look like he's running. And I want to add some asymmetry to these hands. There isn't a right or wrong way while you get your model done. Yep, it's just like, it kind of is, it's just like a whole bunch of branches that go wherever you need it to go, and then just whatever gets you to the end. It's your choice. And a lot of people are more comfortable with Dynamesh. Other people are comfortable with Sculptris Pro, so they may choose to use that method more, if that makes sense. A lot of people will just stay inside of ZRemesh and keep it low the whole time. And it also depends on the piece of the character that you're trying to build, like the specific part. So sometimes I'll stitch it together with remesh. Sometimes I'll Dynamesh. The end result is the same, no matter what technique you use, because you're going to ZRemesh it. But the reason I don't talk about that stuff too much is because I don't want to overwhelm students, and they're going to be like you, Neil, and they're going to go, well, which way is the right way? Which way do I do it? And it's just, you do it the way you want to do it. I know that sounds horrible, but the way I teach it in my workshop is Dynamesh. Okay. And that's just one way. But I also have a lesson where I say, here's an alternative to it, and I teach the ZRemesh stitch method that I've been using on the stream. So yeah, nobody uses Shadowbox. No, you can if you want. I never use Shadowbox. I used to when it first came out, but I haven't used it for a long time. I forgot about that Shadowbox. And there's, I just did I don't know if you guys saw, but with 2020, part of the release was Zizu. Do you guys see Zizu? Part of that, or those were, that's another way to do it, is make mannequins and block them out. And then you can Dynamesh them together. That's just another way. Let's look at this from the front. Maybe. I think I want the silhouette from the front. I like to see his hand from the front, like this. So I think I might move this one over too. You love Zizu? Thank you very much. think I want to rotate it. I don't know if I can. See, I really like the silhouette. If you look at that little thumbnail up there, you can kind of see his silhouette. And from here, if you looked at this in silhouette, this hand is nice because it's not in front of anything. This hand, the thumb is in front of his arm. So I kind of wanted to turn his hand a little bit at the end. So let's do that. And how do we do it? Like this. Whoops. Oh, what's up, Chris? Chris, how's it going? You wanted to make something using Zizu later? Cool. You should tag me if you post it. If you make something with Zizu, tag me. I don't know that this is gonna work. I think I'm gonna leave it just like that. Okay, and the last thing I want to do is kind of turn his head just a little to the left. Oh, Red Wax Army. Oh, this guy makes me laugh. His tongue's too big. You want a lifetime supply of red wax. What am I going to do with all this red wax? Okay. I want to get this. I kind of push this side this way. Try and get it so you can see it from this side. This is kind of the angle here. I'm going to warp his face just slightly. And then pull this back. Cheat it. What's up, Mark? Ship it. Done. Cooked. Pull it out of the oven. Add a little bit more here. Whoops, not his eye. Here. I keep wanting to shout for him, but I can't do the shout. Like, ah! Like the Wilhelm scream or whatever. His feet need to be inflated. What you do to one, you got to do to both. So let's increase this. And then this. All right. Can you show how to join two subtools without Dynamesh and keep all the details? You can't really do that. I mean, you can, but you have to project the details back on. So you will get rid of the details, but then you just use project all. You can do that by subdividing the mesh as well, like with ZRemesher, and then subdivide, and then you can tack all the details back on. So, okay. I'm gonna save this just for safety reasons. And then hit this. Yeah, Mark. All right, 4 seconds. There we go. Looks pretty good. Okay, so now I want to combine all these things with Dynamesh and then cut in the details. And then do some painting, some more painting. I think this guy would be fun to print if we can figure out a way to support his run pose, because he's like mid-air, mid-run. Okay, I think I'm gonna pull his leg back in space more. Because I want that tangent to go right into the seam of the back of his knee. And then this tangent going across to go right through this, sort of. Yeah, and you'll have to see how I can figure that out, how to get it to print. So let me get the camera angle down. Get it to a 50. Okay, and then I'm going to store the camera. Oh, let's call it camera. All right. Rare earth magnet in his toes. Yeah, that might work. But like hollow it out. So I did, you guys have seen the cowboy on the dinosaur, right? And he's got this cantilever design. So if I did the cantilever like this, I would like hook it into the knee, and anyway, I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay. I'm gonna grab this. And I want to pull his cheek in from this side. So he's got that swoopy mouth. Pulled it too far in. Okay. So if I want to pose him but keep his T-pose, can I duplicate? I mean, you could inspire, but usually the best way to do that is just to save off a new tool and just pose the new tool. That way you have them both. Not in the same file, but you have them both saved. So, okay, let's Dynamesh these parts together and finish him up. I was hoping for something like bridge on the par of model that is intersecting. No, it doesn't. You're thinking like traditional 3D modeling packages, and ZBrush isn't like that. Yeah, ZBrush is kind of strange when it comes to, I mean, there are bridging utilities that you can use, but it's not, it doesn't work as, it doesn't work like you would think it would. Come on, isolate, isolate, isolate. Because there's a bridge tool inside ZModeler, There's a bridge. There's a couple ways to bridge things that way. But it always like, it will always Dynamesh or reproject or somehow. So you might as well do it by hand. What I mean by that is you might as well Dynamesh it by hand and then project the details by hand. Yeah, that will come through here. I am paying attention to that. So come through here and just kind of hook around the arm right there. In fact, I think I'm going to do that possibly before I Dynamesh. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm going to do it right now, actually. Because I'm going to combine the arms with the body. Make this his little head pointier. Pointy head. Okay. I'm trying to decide if I want to do that. Yeah, I will. I'll combine them and then I'll draw that in there. So, okay. So what I do usually is grab, sorry, I keep seeing things that I want to fix before because once you Dynamesh, it's kind of a destructive workflow. You can't go back. Yeah, it's not a precision modeler. It's an organic modeler. It's a digital sculpting software. So if you want precision, the ZBrush is not the thing to use. You typically want to use like CAD or something like that, but making this straight as I can. Okay, so I'm going to meld these legs to this body and the arms to the body so we don't have these seams, and I can smooth them out. And I'll show you kind of how to keep everything. So let's see. We have our body. I'm going to move the legs and the arms up right underneath it. That's the tail. I might keep the tail separate. Okay, so we have all three of them together. I'm gonna save this as a new version. Then I need to check and see if my pieces have dynamic subdivision on them or not. This one does, so I'm gonna hit apply. This one does, hit apply. This one does, hit apply. Okay, so then I'm gonna merge them all together. Merge down. Merge down. Okay, and this is what I have now. And then what I like to do is I'm gonna duplicate this and hide the original and get rid of the subdivision levels. So delete lower. Now I can Dynamesh this. I'm going to try 512, but I'm not sure what it's going to look like. Okay, so now it's Dynamesh together. You can see that. Retopo in Blender, Maya. Yep. Okay, now this is stitched together. If I had a lot of detail beforehand, before I stitched this stuff together, what I could do, and if I had paint, okay, what I could do is, the reason I duplicated it is because I can go back to my original, and let's say the original had some paint and some details, like some paint like this. It's being weird because it's showing both at the same time. Okay, if I had paint and if I had, say some details like this around the paint or something, just being really messy, and I wanted to project that after I Dynameshed it, all I would have to do is go to this one, hide everything, and only show those two objects, the Dynameshed one and the other one, and then just hit project all. Where is project all? Project all. Why is it blurred out? There we go. Project all. And it just projected the details from one to the other. So if I turn this on, you can see they're both activated, but here's my original mesh, and here's the Dynamesh mesh with the details projected. Okay, so does that make sense? That's how you would transfer detail from one to the other. And I can do it the other way as well. So now that this is Dynamesh together, I could add detail to this, and then ZRemesh it, and then duplicate it, subdivide it, project the details back to it. So you can go back and forth. It's not too crazy. Okay, you're not going to stitch the tail to the body, no, because the connection point is too sharp, and I want to keep that sharpness. If I connected them, then it would lose that sharpness, and I'd have to figure out how to make it look nice. And the easiest way to make it look nice is to leave it separate. So I'm just going to smooth out all these connections. You can see how it kind of has this whoop-de-doo right there, this warble. Just go in there and just kind of smooth it out. Oh, camcorder, that's funny. Yep. A lot of people are the same way. And that's fine. Whatever floats your boat. And then again with these arms. Sorry, I gotta stand up for just a second. Ugh. Sitting too long. All right. Sometimes I just gotta stand up and stretch for a second if I've been sitting too long. I have a question. I'm working on a female cartoon character and she has slippers and a robe. I want to make fur to that part and render it in KeyShot, but it's crashing every time. I don't know what would be the right settings for fiber mesh. I don't render too much fur in KeyShot with fiber mesh, so I'm not sure if I have an answer to that. It's when it comes to that, I usually just experiment and go back and forth and try different things until I get the look that I want. Because there's not just one setting to make it look good in KeyShot. You just kind of have to go back and forth. Rendering can take a long time to figure out. But the best thing to do is just try different materials, try different lighting scenarios until it works. I wish I had a straight answer for you. Hey, what's up? Also, the fact I'm so bad at doing things off of design that it gets even more frustrating. Like, meaning you you can't do things by looking at a concept? You just want to kind of go off on your own, or what? So just to talk about that a little bit, doing your own design versus doing somebody else's concepts. Usually you do your own design when you're doing work for yourself, like just your own, for your own satisfaction. And but usually paid work, you're modeling somebody else's concept most of the time. Okay. All right. Really quickly, I'm just going to add this color in here. Add the rest of the color, I should say. But what I want to do first is I want to add a layer. I usually tend to stay away from layers, but I'm going to add a layer because this is all kind of surface detail. And then I'm going to grab this chisel brush and turn on RGB because I want to try and see what it's going to look like if I do this. I guess it doesn't work with RGB. Huh. Okay. Your brushes and UI are free, so I can use it in the work, or I can make an online course for Skillshare and I can use them there too. Yeah, just don't share them with your Skillshare students. Just make sure you tell them where to go get them rather than give it to them, if you wouldn't mind. That's the only thing I ask. Okay. I'll turn this up a little bit. And you can just get my brushes over at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. Lack of details is extremely hard for me to do, for I admit I start to think, oh, it needs more when it truly doesn't. So yeah, details can be a crutch, honestly, for a lot of people. But you really have to focus on your base shapes first before adding the detail, because I tell my students in the course, details are not going to fix a poor mesh, a poorly constructed mesh. So yeah, no amount of detail is going to make it look any better than it does. So if you're thinking that adding detail is going to fix it, it's not, and that's the wrong kind of idea, I guess. How does the saying go? You can't polish a turd. so just make sure your base mesh is good. I think that's a little too light. There we go. It's not, no, this is just for fun, just for kind of an illustration, I guess. I'm not really using it for anything other than just sculpting practice. It's not going to be used for a game or anything. Just I might render him out and use him just for another character. Whoop. Thanks, Neil. It's like, run away. Kind of tricky when you get in close with something else because it will tend to paint on its neighbor. So you just make a smaller brush, get into those cracks. Thanks, MCPD. Yeah, it's been 2 hours. In about 1 more minute it will be 2 hours. And you know what kind of stinks about that is sometimes people, like companies, will watch me and say, hey, can you make me a character and get it done in 2 hours? And the answer is I wish, because I care more about paid work than I care about my stream characters, you know? So paid work takes a lot longer, because then I can sit and take the time to polish. When I'm doing this work, even though it looks kind of good at the end, hopefully, fingers crossed, it's not polished by any means. If I were to make this an actual final asset to deliver to a company, I wouldn't do it in 2 hours. So don't get the false assumption that this is a finished character by any means. I'll color in his mouth black again. Grab this color. I'm gonna solo it. Oops, hit my head on the microphone, sorry. And polypaint is based off of mesh resolution. That's why it's kind of chunky and pixelated around the edges, because I don't have enough resolution to keep the edges super clean. That's another part of polish that I would do, is increase the resolution and really take the time to paint this up nice. Right, yep, you totally need to do retopology, but even if this was a toy, you know, that I was going to deliver to a company, I'd have to take the time to really polish it up. That last 10-20%, whatever. It's funny because 90% of the work is kind of done in the first little while, and then the polishing bit can take just as long as the rest of it. Okay, I don't know why I'm bringing him clear down there, but there you go. 2 hours. He could be leaning a little further back. I wonder if I can. There's a way to rotate the camera. Here, let me see if I can turn off the layers. I wonder if I can do with the pizza boxes and rotate him, the whole thing. There we go. There. I just wanted to lean him back just a little bit more. A dark red? Yeah, it would actually. Let me fix that. That's a good call. Where'd his body go? Okay. Let's fix his tongue. It's like a magenta, isn't it? Let's go more into the orange family. That's kind of brown. Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll put a gradient on it. There you go. That's better. Teeth are float. Yeah, let me see. All this is part of polish that I'm talking about, right? Let's pull it up into the gums here. So these are all little things that I would go in and do as I, to polish them and make them look good. But I appreciate the feedback, you guys. Okay, so let's do that. I'm gonna pull just a couple more things. Like I want to pull his foot. Oh, it has layers. I guess I can't. See? Layers. Layers. You could have used the new polypaint color adjust. I could have. I forgot about that. I could have. Dang it. Missed opportunity. Oh, goodness. So, this is why I'm not a huge fan of layers, you guys. Sure. So essentially I have to rotate it back again, and it's going to be not aligned with his eyes. Because I turned off the layer just to hide, because I wanted to edit the foot. That was a mistake. Rotate it more. There we go. Jeez. Okay. He's running so his face can't keep up. All right, you guys. I think I'm gonna wrap it up right here. This is I'm a fan of this. This looks pretty good. Okay, and thank you, Neil, for the suggestion. Thanks for hanging out with me today. As always, I teach an online course. It's called the 3D Character Workshop. If you want to learn how to do this for a living or for a hobby or any reason whatsoever, come and check it out. It's over at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. If you want this user interface and you want these brushes and you want my ruler file, my startup file, feel free to go over there. I give it away for free. And the 2019 version works with 2020. So I'm not going to be changing it much, but I am going to be updating the interface to support 2020. I just haven't done it yet. I still need to figure out what I want to add in there. So anyway, thanks everybody for hanging out, and we will catch you actually tomorrow night. I'm going to be sculpting with Pablo and Anna. So if you want to come hang out, say hi, it'll be a good time. All right. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you later. Cheers. Bye-bye.